Okay, in this video, we're going to go ahead and create the hygiene station. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. You can make sure that it's Imperial. And then we're going to start out by actually going to our elevations section here, and we're going to put in some different levels. So it doesn't matter what elevation, I'm going to go to the east elevation, and I can click on these here, drag those over so that they're a little bit shorter. I can zoom in here a little bit better. All right, so to add a new level, we just simply click out into the white space and you have the level tool right over here, or you can click LL on your keyboard. All right, and I'll put in LL. And there's a few different levels that we need to put in here. So I'm just gonna drop this one here. Doesn't matter the measurement right now. Hit escape. And let's go ahead and rename these. So L1, if I just click on L1, I can change this to the ground level. All right, we'll leave that at 0. L2, we're going to make this the top of Pila, and we're going to have to change the measurement on that too. The top of the Pila is 2 space 2.75, so 2 feet 2 3/4 inches. Okay, the L3 that we're going to put in here, this is going to be the short side of the hygiene station, and that level is going to be at 5 feet 6 1/4 inches. So I'm going to do 5 space 6.25. All right. We can kind of move these around if they start to get cluttered. You can move that. You can unlock those so that they can move a little bit. I'm going to unlock that. Kind of stagger them a little bit so we can read what they say. And we'll do one last level here, and that is going to be the tall side. Put that one maybe right here. So it's going to be the tall side. All right, that is going to go at 6 foot 2 1/2 inches. So 6 space 2.5. All right. Okay, so that should be good on our levels. So you'll want to put in your levels so that we can work off of that. All right, once we got that done, we're going to go over to the architectural L1. So this is level 1, and we're going to just basically draw out the hygiene station. So here we go, architecture wall. It says here that we're going to be using the basic generic 8-inch wall. We're not going to want that one, so we can do just like a generic 6-inch masonry. That's fine. And then what we'll do is we will edit type, and we will duplicate this, and we are going to call this our hygiene station walls. Okay, now you'll see now it changed here to hygiene station walls, so duplicate hygiene station walls. We're going to edit the structure, and we're going to make it, we're going to leave it with the CMUs, this concrete masonry units, but they are using bricks that are only 4 inches thick. So 4 inches thick, we'll hit OK and apply. All right, so now we have our hygiene station walls. They are on the ground level, which is good, and we're going to go ahead and draw this out. All right, wall. We're going to start by putting in our first wall here, and I'll have to zoom in a little bit. The actual measurement for the wall is 7 feet 10 inches, so if you want to just get it right the first time, the farther you zoom in, the smaller the increments it moves. So there's 7 foot 10. Then we can go this way. This one is going to be 5 foot 10 1/4, so you're probably not going to be able to do that one, but I'll just go like roughly 6 feet. There you go. Okay, and then this one's going to go like just over 4 feet, so we'll go like 4 foot 2, and then we'll come in, and we can adjust these as well, and there. All right. Okay, we're going to draw the wall across like that, and we're just putting in all the walls. We'll work out where they go in a little bit, but I do want to actually take this wall out and just put a different, or just one that connects here to here. There we go. Okay, so that is the basic layout of the hygiene station. We just need to make sure that we have the measurements right. So I'm going to go ahead here and use the annotate tool, and we're going to put some measurements on this. So I'm going to do annotate, and then choose aligned, and then I can choose from the outside of the wall or the inside of the wall. We're going to choose the outside of this wall to the outside of this wall, and you can see that it is at 8 foot 2. All right, that's a little bit big, so we're going to take that in to 7 foot 10. So I'll zoom in on that, and you'll see it's going to go down. There's 7 foot 10. And then when I've got it in place, I'm going to click on that measurement. So I'll just click out here, click on the measurement, and I'm going to lock it. And that's going to prevent this from moving around anymore. Okay, we're just going to continue to do that. So again, annotate, aligned. We're going to go from the outside of this wall to the outside of this wall. It says 6'3", okay, but it's not quite 6'3", so I'll escape out of that. I'm going to click on the side wall here, and you'll see that it gives me 6'3". We're going to change this one just by typing in, so 5 space 10.25, so 5 foot 10 and a quarter. Okay, and it moved that in, and then again we're going to click on this one, lock it so that it can't move, and we'll keep going. Okay, the outside, so we'll do another annotate aligned. We're going to go from the outside of this wall here. So I'm going to click, so it'll be the inside of the pila to the outside here. All right, and that one, escape a couple times, click on that, and that'll allow us to change the measurement there. This one is going to be 2 feet space 0.75 inches. So 2 space 0.75. All right, so that takes that. And then again, we're going to lock that in place. We'll continue. We've got annotate, aligned, outside to the end of the pila. And this one is going to be 4 foot 2 3/4. So we'll click on that. It's going to be 4 space 2.75. All right, and we're going to lock that one as well. And then finally, we're going to, if you click on, there we go. Looks like if I click on this wall, it gives me the measurement right there. This wall is 3 foot 9 1/4, so 3 space 9.25. And again, if I align it now, if I do the outside to outside, gave us a different measurement there. But okay. And again, we will lock that in place. All right, so we should have everything set up here. We've got the pila size, we've got the outer walls. The one thing we do need to do is kind of adjust this inside here. And to be honest with you, the plans were not real clear on that. So I'm just going to make it from the outside to inside of the pila. We'll just make it about 18 inches. So that's going to be, so I can escape out of this. Okay, we'll just choose that. There we go. It's going to be 1 space 6. All right, so that's 18 inches. That looks pretty good. And then we have our space in here for the toilet, and we've got our shower area right here, outside pila, inside pila, and our door area right here. Okay, so our door area should be from the inside, exactly that, 3 feet, 3 1/4 inches. All right, so we have everything we need. No, that's fine. Okay. All right. So once we have this done, we have all our walls in place. We need to go ahead and set the walls to their appropriate heights. So right now, if I just go to the 3D view, you'll see that it is. I need to close that one. Here we go. If I go to View, 3D, you're going to see that the walls are all really tall. Okay. So we're going to go in one at a time. Click on the wall. And then we're going to go to this top constraint, and this is going to be the tall wall. So I'm going to say go up to the tall side, and you're going to see that it shrinks. All right, click on this one. This one is going to go, instead of unconnected, it's going to go to the short side. And then same thing with this one and this one. So I can hit Control on both of those. We'll make those short side. All right, and then finally this one. The rest of the walls that are tall there, they're going to go to the top of the pila. All right, so should look like that. All right, we'll have to fix just a few little things here, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to fix is this wall right here. So this wall doesn't exist. We need to cut it out so that it's even with the top of the pila, and that's pretty simple to do. We're just going to click on the wall. We're going to edit the profile. So when you click on it, this should show up top, edit profile. And we're just I'm gonna kind of turn to the right here so I can look at it. We're just gonna use the line tool, and we're gonna go here to the top of the pila, over to the edge of this wall, straight up like that. Hit escape to stop drawing, and then we'll use the trim tool here, and I will say keep this and keep this, and you'll see it trim that. And then we're going to keep this and keep down here, and it's going to trim that. All right, then we're going to hit check, and now we can see we've got the wall trimmed. All right, so that looks good. The next one we have to do is this one. We need to make it so that it overlaps here. It goes kind of like into the wall there at the Pila. So we want to do the same thing here. We're going to edit the profile, and we'll look at it from the front view. And we're just going to kind of draw the wall over and up, and we're going to keep that. So we're just going to go over to the edge of the Pila. It kind of snaps there, go all the way to the top, and connect back in. All right, so what we have to do then is trim the rest out. So I want to keep this and this, and then check. Okay, so looking better. Now we're going to put in our floor. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the level 1 view. All right, we've got everything in. We're going to hit here, architecture, floor, and we're going to just simply draw out a floor. Now, you'll notice that when I clicked on floor, it goes to the generic 12-inch floor. I don't want a 12-inch floor. We'll just do concrete 4 inches. And then we will, same thing as before, we're going to edit that. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to call it Hygiene Station Floor. And then I don't need 4 inches of concrete, so we're going to hit edit and change that to 2 inches, which is what the plan calls for. And then we'll hit apply. Okay, now we can just simply use the tool, the square tool, rectangle tool here, and just go around that. And then while we're drawing this, we can move this around a little bit later, but we need to put a hole in the floor for the drain. So I'm going to use the circle tool now, and just somewhere right in here, we're just going to draw, and 1 inch is what we want there. It's going to say 0 feet, 1 inch. That's what we want for that. And then, again, we're going to hit check. All right, so now we have the floor in. We have the hole in the floor for the drain. We'll have to move that drain a little bit later, but we're in good shape there. Okay, so you kind of see what we're doing. We're just getting all these different levels, making everything out of walls. And we're going to do the same thing here with the sink. All right, so again, we're going to go to the level 1 view. We're going to create a wall. This time, I don't want the wall to be on the ground. I would like this wall to be on top of the Pila. And then we're going to, it says top constraint unconnected, and it's going to be 20 feet tall. We don't need it 20 feet tall. We're going to make it only 4 inches tall. So it's going to be 0 space 4, 0 space 4, and then apply. All right, and we'll just simply draw this out like so. Actually, I can click there, there. Okay, and then I'm going to avoid the middle there, but we'll maybe like that is fine, and there. Okay, so what I would need to do now is, again, we're going to measure this. It's going to connect to that wall in the back, so that's fine, but we do need to get the overall width right on this. So that, it says 1 foot 10 inches, and I believe it's 1 foot 11, if I'm correct. One foot 11 and a half. So here we go. So I will click on that one. See there, it gives me that 1 space 11.5. All right, and then once we click out of that, we're going to click that one and lock it. There's the lock, so it doesn't move on us anymore. Okay, sink is in. All right, so while we're there, again, we're going to go here to, now we're going to put the floor in the sink, or the bottom of the sink. So this time we'll do architecture tab, floor, and we're just going to use the square tool here, the rectangle tool, and we're just going to go there to say there. And then again, we're going to use the hygiene station floor, which is 2 inches there. So we'll hit check. It says highlighted floors overlap. All right, well, that's a problem. So that means, I'll undo that. That means I did this on the ground. This should be on top of the Pila. And then also the other thing I forgot to do was put a drain in it. So we'll put the drain, say right there, 1 inch again, and then check. It says, do you want to attach it? Nope, don't attach. All right, and then now let's look at it in 3D. Okay, so we have a sink basin there with the hole in it for the drain, and we're ready to put the beams on the roof. Okay, so now what I'll do is, you'll see we only have level 1 and level 2 here, but if we go up here to say view, plan views, and we can do a floor plan, Let's do this on, say, the short side. Okay, and now we have the short side plan, and you can see that there's a few items that looks like we got that missing. Hmm. Actually, we'll just go there. Okay, we'll just do this on the regular view, and that way we can see everything. We don't have to mess with visibility settings. Okay, so we'll go to architecture. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the beams that go across the top that support the roof. So again, I'm going to choose wall. And I know it kind of sounds weird that we're using a wall for this, but that's okay. We're going to do, when we draw the wall out, this time let's go ahead and duplicate the view here. So we're going to choose edit type for the walls. We're going to duplicate. Let's call this the roof beams. Hit OK. We're going to edit. Going to edit that structure. Sorry, I don't know what I did there. Roof beams, okay. Structure, edit. Okay, this time instead of concrete masonry units, we're going to change this to something different. And then this could be lumber, softwood lumber, that's fine. Okay. And then the height on this is going to be 3¼ inches. So we're going to 3.25. And hit OK. All right, so once we've got that done, we are ready to draw in some roof beams here. So I don't want the space constraint to be on the ground. I'm going to make 2 beams here on the short side. So I'm going to go to the corner, and I'm going to go off of the corner, and you'll see the little ruler pops up 1 foot. There we go. So I'm going to click there. And then we're going to place this. The beam itself is 8 feet long, so I'll just make them 8 feet. There they are, 8 feet. When I place it, we're going to get this warning that says it's not visible, and that's okay. Just because of the view settings. Now we're going to go right here next to the door, kind of just over just slightly, or you can go right to the middle of this one and go out 1 foot from the wall. And then we're going to make the beam 8 feet long. Okay, same thing. It's going to say it's highlighted walls overlap. I did not make that one on the ground, so we'll click on that one, change that to the short side, apply. And then we'll do the last one right here over the long side wall. So we're going to do architecture, wall, beams, go out 1 foot, make the beam 8 feet long. All right, we're going to escape out of that. Okay, so again, looks like I made this one. This one should go on the top of the tall side. Okay, the other thing that, so if I look at this now, you'll see that the beams are right there. And then you'll notice that the unconnected height on these is 4 inches. I'm going to make those actually 3.1 or 3.25, so just 3.25. All right, and then we'll just click on this one. I'm going to hit Shift and click it on both of them. 3.25 for the unconnected height for both of those. All right, so now if I turn the shading on here, that's in the bottom left here, shaded, you'll see that it looks like brick, looks like lumber, and we're good to go there. Okay, so before we put the roof on, probably be easier to go ahead and finish out with some of the other components. So what I'm going to do is in the Google Classroom, you'll see that I've posted the parts for, we've got the septic, we've got the gray water tank, or the gray water pit, and we've got a drain that goes from here into the floor. And then we have a vent pipe and sewer pipe. Okay, so to do this, to get those in here, we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to go to Insert, and then we're going to do a CAD import. Okay, so I'm going to hit Import CAD, and we're going to take those files that you're going to download those from the Google Classroom, so they'll be in your download folder, and we're going to change this to the file type is going to be Rhino files, 3DM. All right, and then you'll see everything pops up. So I have to take these one at a time. So I'm going to take the drain. I'm going to hit Open. Okay, and you'll notice, oh, there it is, it showed up. If yours doesn't show up, if it says that, if you get a warning that pops up and it says it's not active in the current view, then you need to go to actually you can just hit VV or VG on your keyboard, and it'll pop this little menu up, and you go right here to this imported categories, and you need to make sure that everything is checked. Okay, once you do that and hit apply, they should show up in your, you only have to do that one time if they're not showing up. Okay, so yeah, so then we're just going to keep going. So I'm going to take, that was the drains, import CAD. I'm going to take the door. Actually, there it is, the door. Okay, so there's the door. We're going to take gray water pit. Septic pipe. Okay, I think I have everything here. So you should have a septic tank, a gray water tank, a septic pipe, the drains for the sink there, the door, the toilet, and then there's a smaller one in here that you probably can't see. There it is right there. This is the vent. Okay, so all right, so in order to place things in here first, we're going to go ahead and put the toilet setup in here. It has a little block that has to be put in. So we'll go here to the level 1 architecture. We'll put a wall in. This time I'm going to make it a generic 12, let's do 8-inch masonry wall. And then I'm just going to go like to the middle of the doorway. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but somewhere like right there. And we're going to do a wall that's not quite touching. This one is going to be 1 foot 6.5 inches. So we'll go 1 foot 6 is fine, like that, and hit escape. Click on that. 1 space 6.5. That's how long it is. The width of this wall is 8.25, or I'm sorry, 7.5, and it's 8.25 tall. So let's go ahead. It should already be 7.5. We're going to put it on the ground, and then we're going to do unconnected, and then we're going to make this 0 space 7.5. That's how, or no, 0 space 8.25. All right, so we'll hit apply. And then we're just going to use the arrow keys to move it up close to the wall. So that looks good. So let's look at that in 3D, make sure we're good there. So now I got a little block to put the toilet on. And now we can start placing all these 3D components. Okay, so the first component that I'll place in here is the toilet. So we're going to go to the front view. This is in 3D. And you're just going to grab that and you're going to move it over, kind of zoom in and get it, say, to the right height. You can also, once you get it close, you can click on it and use the arrow keys. So I got it, looks like it's in the right height there. But if I go to the top view now, so if I look at it from the top, it's probably not in the right spot. Yeah, it's way over here. So it's already the right height. So if I click on it and just use the arrow keys, just move it to its position. So it's going to go right there. Okay. Same thing with the other items. This is the sewer pipe. So I'm just going to put this like right into the back of the toilet. We're going to put the drains in their spot. So this is going to go like right here. We'll have to move the hole to match. We'll put the gray water tank right here. You can see the pipe sticking out on the side, so that we want this to go that up and in. Something like that. Okay, and then the septic is going to go way over here. Something like that. And then our door is going to go there. And then I'm missing there's the vent. Where's the vent? There it is. The vent is going to go inside of that. Okay, so let's make sure, so you can see from that view everything looked good. This view we're going to have to move some things around a little bit here. So I'm going to click on the drain. Move that to there. Click on the doors. Septic looks like, or the pit, I'm just going to make sure it's underground, so right at the ground level. Same thing with this one. Go down to there. Okay. And then we'll look at the left side. And now to get the sewer pipe in, I need to kind of see that where the toilet is. So I'm going to click on this wall. I'm going to right click, hide and view elements, and then we can click on the pipe and get it to where it's right behind the toilet. So that should look good, like so. All right, we'll put the vent pipe so it's sticking down a little bit. All right, so we should have everything we need there. You'll have to kind of move those around on your own. Okay, to get my wall back, we're going to go to right here to the light bulb, and then you'll see the wall is kind of highlighted, so you'll right click on the wall, unhide and view elements, and then you click the light bulb again. So my wall is back. Okay, and looks like my door needs to slide back more. All right, looks good. Okay, so also here you can see I have the drain. Looks like I did pretty good on that hole there, but for this floor, I'm going to click on the floor, right click, or I'm sorry, we're just going to click on the floor, and we're going to click Edit Boundary, and we're just going to move the circle right over the pipe. And if your sink needs it as well, okay, then it will move your floor there. Okay, so everything looks good there. All right, so just a few little items left and we're done. Okay. All right, so the next thing that we want to do here, let's look at this from the front view. I'm going to click on this beam, and it actually needs to be raised up a little bit. So we're going to do a base offset of 0, so 3¼ inches, so 0 space 3.25. Apply, so you're going to see it goes up a little bit. That'll make the angle for the roof. But then we need to adjust this wall to account for that. So I'm going to click on the wall, just like we did before. We're going to edit the profile, and looks like I need to actually bring this over a little bit more. There we go. And now we're going to bring this up, over, and down. Okay, and again, we'll use the trim tool. I'm going to say I'm going to keep this and this. I'm going to keep this and this. Whoops, undo that. I think I may just have to delete that line. There we go. Okay, so now you'll see I got a little bump there, and the wall is in good shape. Okay, we can do the same thing on the back wall and put a little bump underneath that, 3¼ so that it has a brick to sit on. And then we'll put the roof on and we'll be done. Edit profile. So line tool. We'll do trim. Keep this and keep this one, keep that one. It's fine. So if this happens, you just say unjoin elements, and then you'll just have to redraw that line in there. So just draw this line back. And now you can hit check, and it should be back the way it was. Okay. All right. So the final thing is the roof. Okay. And here we go with the roof. So we're going to do a different kind of roof called a roof by extrusion. So if you click here to Architecture tab, roof by extrusion, it says here pick a plane. So I pick a plane. I'm going to do this on the end of the beams. So I'm going to hit OK to pick a plane. I'm going to choose this plane right here at the, again, at the end of the beam. Say this one right there. And then what level do you want this on? It says tall side, offset 0. That's fine. Okay. And now I'm going to look at this from the front view, and we're going to draw just a simple line that is going to be the roof. So I will say like click here, and then something like this, and then I'll hit escape. And you can click on that. I believe it's supposed to be like 9 feet, 10 inches or something like that is the roof length. So we'll put that in. It'll be 9 space 10. We just want to make sure that it has overhang on both sides. Okay, and I'm not even that worried about if it's touching, because we can adjust that. All right, so you'll see if I hit check, it's really, really a thick roof. So we want to fix that. So again, highlight your roof. We're going to go to Edit Type. And right now it's just a generic roof. So we'll duplicate, and we'll call this like tin roof. Hit OK. Edit the structure. And this time the category is going to be, we'll search up here for metal deck. There it is. We'll hit OK. And we're going to make the thickness on this very, very thin. Like, we're going to put like 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125. Okay, and then apply. Okay. Okay, so there it is. I have the metal decking roof. If I click on it, I can click Edit Profile, Front, and then we can adjust it so that it's touching everything. And then once you have it adjusted where you want it, you're basically done. Again, if you zoom in more, you can fine tune it a little bit easier. Okay, so there we have it. We have a full hygiene station.